Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So this is week 15 of the history of the British family in 18th and 19th centuries. And as you can see, we have made it till the end of the semester. Most of it was online, so yes, we'll have to deal with that. I hope you have received the invitation to the Google Meet on Tuesday, and we will talk about what you need to do to get the credits for the participation in the course. I have also uploaded the list of questions for you to read and eventually to prepare, plus a bibliography of some books and selected, most important, documentary films that I encourage you to check out if you'd like to know more about these subjects. As far as the books go, most of them, the ones in English, are available in the Institute library. The few titles in Polish that are on the list are available in the main library of the university, the BUW. I've heard that the libraries are starting to open, so if you want time to read them, to prepare, well, definitely we'll talk about that on Tuesday. What remains to be done is basically to round up the subject and to finish off with the 19th century, or perhaps to move into the 20th century a little, so to talk about the Edwardian period. The Edwardian period is called this way after Queen Victoria's successor, her eldest son, whose given name was Albert Edward, but when he came to the throne in 1901, he decided that he would use the name Edward, so he became Edward VII. He was one of the older princes of Wales to take the throne. He really had to wait through the record-breaking reign of his mother. There are some anecdotes about that, that eventually he complained about that, and especially that he apparently made some sniding remarks about the quasi-religious concept of the eternal mother, of course meaning his own mother who would reign so long. Just as in many reigns of the Hanoverians, there wasn't much love between the sovereign and the Prince of Wales, so you may recall that this wasn't a very loving relationship between mother and son, between Victoria and Edward VII, but well, she didn't have any other Prince of Wales, so she had to make do. He was a completely different personality from Victoria, and you might say that he was more resembling of her uncles, of those wicked uncles from the Regency period, and the part of the 19th century before Victoria came to the throne. So George IV and William IV, the chubby, fun, party-loving, womanizing, drinking, smoking, and generally enjoying their lives to the fullest. This wasn't something that Victoria approved of, or Albert when he was still alive, but paradoxically, to the people in Great Britain, this was a whiff of fresh air after long decades, especially after Prince Albert's death, of the widowed Victoria becoming the very grim matriarch figure always dressed in the widow's weeds, in black clothes, and becoming the creature of the very famous, although probably not true, anecdote, who would say, "We are not amused." If she said that, she didn't really mean it to be the motto of her life, but especially in the later decades of her life, this was taken by the subjects to be something of a motto, and at least her public persona was of an unamused, stern, grim old lady. So the fun-loving and sociable Edward VII was a welcome change, and many people appreciated his sociability, appreciated the fact, for example, that he was never snobbish. He socialized with people from different social classes. He didn't really reserve his friendship for the aristocracy. He had friends among the rich merchants and industrialists and such. He loved parties, he loved women. Well, this was something that his wife, Queen Alexandra, probably would object to, but like many earlier royal wives, she had to put up with his lifestyle. So, in many respects, the Edwardian period is the coda to the Victorian period. The last moments of prosperity, the last moments of optimism, and the belief that Britain was on the way towards ever brighter future. There was a new century, of course, so the 20th century was rolling in, and the people were generally optimistic, and there was a continuation of the Victorian belief in progress, and the colonial belief that Britain was the best and most civilized country in the world. Of course, there were problems, and we'll talk about these problems in a little moment, but the general mood was largely a continuation of the positive and complacent and optimistic mood of the Victorian period. The economy was good. There was a period of crisis in the 70s and the 80s, but by the end of the century, the economy was good. The middle class, especially, were growing, were getting more wealthy. They could afford more luxuries in life, and generally, in terms of private life, in terms of leisure activities and available lifestyle, the Edwardian period is possibly the best period to be born in, to be young in. But you have to remember, they didn't know how long it would last. They hoped it would last forever. We know it ended very abruptly with the outbreak of the Great War. So the First World War in the British history studies, it's called the Great War because this was such an end of the era. So we continue in a moment.